Hi, my name's Emma and I run The Dating Mermaid. You can find more of my stuff such as blogs and products at www.thedatingmermaid.com. In this video I'm going to talk about the 7 most common painful breakup mistakes. Now don't worry if you've made these mistakes after a breakup or you're currently making these mistakes, because whenever we experience a breakup we're often very emotional. This is a completely normal response, and when we're emotional we often make decisions that we wouldn't normally make. So let's move on to mistake number 1. Very common, probably the most common. When someone breaks up with us, we often feel so emotional and we start panicking as a result. We start worrying about how we're going to cope without them. So then what we do is we start focusing on ways to get our exes back. The problem with this is we don't actually take the time to work out whether that ex is actually a good option for us, because we're panicking and we're really emotional. It's better to take the time to sit back and think, hold on a minute here, is this person a good match for me? Because in many instances when the relationship is broken down, it means there's something wrong within the relationship and the two people aren't as compatible as they originally thought. Let's look at mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 involves questions. The questions we ask ourselves are really important. Whatever questions we ask, our minds automatically find us an answer to that question. If we ask ourselves positive questions, such as what's good about us, or what makes us attractive, or what makes us a good partner, our minds will find positive responses and make us feel good. Alternatively, if we ask ourselves negative questions, such as what's wrong with me, or why did my partner leave me, we are asking our minds to search for negative responses, and these responses are automatically going to make us feel bad. So whenever people experience a breakup, they need to focus on what questions they're asking themselves, make sure they don't ask themselves negative questions, and make sure they focus more on identifying and asking themselves positive questions. Let's have a look at mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is when people want to get their exes back, and what they do is they agree to being friends with their ex, giving their ex the impression they want a genuine friendship, when in actual fact they secretly want to get back with them and they want to secretly rekindle the relationship. Now, I can understand this, however, this potentially will end in tears. That is because if you've got an intention of getting an ex back, but in 6 months' time you don't actually have that ex back, you've potentially been wasting 6 months of your life by focusing on achieving a goal that you haven't actually achieved, i.e. getting your ex back. It's better to really move away from that individual, maybe have no contact for a little while you heal from the situation and you focus on rebuilding your self-esteem, rebuilding your life, meeting new people and potentially getting a new partner. Mistake number 4. This is a really common one, and this is where people obsess about battling with their exes. If somebody ends a relationship with us, we often feel hurt and angry. We feel like we've lost out and we feel like it's unfair. So a very common response is to try and battle with that ex and win against that ex. The problem with that is when you try and battle with somebody and try and win against somebody else, it often causes you more drama and trauma. You just don't feel peaceful. What is better is if people in this situation redefine a win. And a win is genuinely moving on to a happier, calmer life. So therefore, people should really focus on using their energy to rebuild their lives and potentially finding a better partner for themselves, rather than focusing on their past and focusing on trying to win and battle against an ex. Mistake number 5. This is where people start a new relationship to get over an ex. They feel like there's a void in their life. They feel like there's like a hole, like a person-shaped hole. So what they do is they start a new relationship very quickly because they just want that hole to be filled. The problem with this is that when you desperately want to have to fill that void and to get somebody new, you're not particularly objective when you're looking for that partner. So potentially you're going to be starting a relationship with somebody that you're incompatible with, and you're going to break up with that individual at some point, and you're going to experience trauma all over again. Let's look at mistake number 6. Some people make the mistake of viewing the relationship with rose-tinted glasses and completely overlook all of the negatives. This is a mistake because it's very difficult to move on from somebody when you are focusing on the positives of a relationship. In this instance, it's quite a good idea, if you're doing it, is to then focus on all the negatives of the relationship, potentially even writing them down, just to balance it out, just to balance out the perspective. Mistake number 7. And this is where some people, they focus on analysing the relationship rather than moving on from it. This is when people will talk to their friends a lot about the relationship and what happened. They'll also focus on the breakup as well, like the way in which the breakup happened and why it happened. And they essentially do an awful lot of talking and not a lot of moving on. In this situation, it's better if people just say to themselves, this relationship is now over. I might not get all the answers I want, but what I really need to do is I need to use my energy to move forward rather than keep focusing on the past. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed hearing about these 7 mistakes, according to my perspective. Let me know in the comments box what you think. Do you think there are any other mistakes that people make after a breakup? Have you made any of these mistakes? Let me know. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye now.